The latest album from Tori Amos, Midwinter Graces, may be out for the festive season, but it's not a Christmas record. A veneration of the winter solstice, this collection of songs celebrates the pagan festival. Much of the album finds Amos reworking and expanding on the traditional Christmas carol.
A silent night with the earth.
Daughter of a conservative Christian minister, Amos has spent a lifetime exploring God, sexuality and feminism in her lyrics.
You are of your God.
Amos, who's been at the forefront of a number of female singer-songwriters since the early 1990s, is noted for her emotionally intense work, characterized by the use of the piano. The perfect antidote to teeny bopper girl bands and sexy gyrating pop acts. Tori Amos, empowered, outspoken, and creator of beautiful melodies. She is our connector of the day. Tori Amos joins us now live from New York. You once said you prefer your piano to people. Is that true?
Sometimes. Most people, but not all people.
Oh. You've released 2 albums this year. You've been busy. Midwinter Grace is meant to be an antidote, is it, to the regular Christmas album?
Well, my father, he wanted me to do this for a long, long time. But I wanted to do something slightly different that was more inclusive of different cultures and different beliefs.
Good stuff. Before we move on to the viewer questions, I did want to ask you about the network that you're involved with. You founded the Rape and Incest National Network in 1994. You're a survivor of rape yourself. Are you still involved in that network?
Yes, I am. And the good news and the bad news is that we've had over 1 million calls. And the people there are highly trained and help people across America. So what a group of people to be involved with.
Yeah, as you say, good news and bad news, but good on you, and the network's still going there. Let's go on to the viewer questions. There's been lots of them. Naleen Nish Aaron has written in to ask you about your relationship with God. Is God a female? Does your God have a name?
Well, I'm more inspired these days by the idea of a creator, and the Native American tradition has really influenced me into opening and expanding my idea of what that is.
All right. Brian, curious to know what music you're listening to these days, and perhaps which artists or pieces specifically influenced this latest album.
Well, when I was, I guess, running around LA in the 80s, I was happy to discover a pianist called George Winston, who put out a CD called December and Winter. And he did a twist on some of the songs that we all grew up with.
Diane Khan thinks that the world's becoming a harder and harder place to grow up. What do you think is, she says, the most important thing to teach your daughter to survive in this world, especially as a female?
How to say no. With a smile on your face.
We're all learning to do that as we get older. Greg has written in to ask you about the sexual abuse that you survived. How have you allowed happiness, he says, back into your life?
Becoming a mother was the missing piece of the puzzle for me. And I guess when I was pregnant with Natasha, any kind of darkness that I had been holding on to, and I'd been working with, actually, she's known in America, but she was a British doctor of psychology, and she ran one of the wings of Cedars-Sinai in LA, and she helped me for 10 years to try and work through things. But it was the birth of my daughter that kicked out, literally kicked out, any kind of, I don't know, negativity, self-abuse that I was holding on to.